Gridiron Grinder! Hut hut hike!
All right, party people. Wednesday night, Gridiron Grinder time. I'm Ryan. With me, as always, is my buddy James. Just a couple of dudes hanging out, talking about what's going on in the NFL each week. For this episode, we're going to be covering our AFC and NFC South outlook for the 2026 NFL season. We did the East last week. We'll do the West next week, and then we'll close it off with the North. Although, I guess maybe the West won't be next week, maybe the week after, because we're probably going to be out of town. But anyhow, with all that being said, how's it going tonight with you, James?
It's going good. How's it going with you?
It's going well, man. It's going well. I actually, just the other day, talked to one of our, if not our only viewer, and it was pretty cool. I will just say that. We do have a legit viewer, other than you and I. Yes. I'll tell you about it later. I don't want to on the record here release who that is for privacy purposes, right? We don't want to get sued. So, yeah. So I guess why don't we jump in, man? Just AFC South. Give me you can go top down, bottom up, whatever you want to do.
All right.
Zigzag.
So just to recap, AFC South early record predictions. I had the Colts at 11-6. The Texans at 10-7, Jacksonville and Tennessee both at 6-11. Man, have things changed. All right, start with I have Houston at 12-5, winning the division.
All right.
Houston, more I look at it, more I look at Houston, more I think they're going to rebound. I think. One thing to go back to last week, I get a downgrade with Washington. I had them 6-11. I have to downgrade them more because they lost Laramie Tunsil.
Oh, gotcha. Well, we can.
We'll do that. You can do that later.
Yeah, you can like moving forward adjust, and then we can always like the last week do final tweaks or whatever. So
yeah, I just
whatever works.
Wanted to mention that.
Yeah,
the Colts.
That is a fact. I mean, I already had them down low, but that's a factor. Yeah. So yeah, keep going.
Colts, I have at 10-7. While I like what I'm hearing about the Colts, I don't think they can really replicate last year. They got lightning in a bottle, and then Danny Dimes
did
got
fade
hurt.
In the second half. Even before he got hurt, it did fade.
Right, exactly. Then the Titans at 6-11, and I'm torn on the Titans because I really think the Titans are starting to build something there. What it is, who knows? But they're starting to put pieces together that I think could turn into a good football team. Plus, I think they have an easier schedule, so that might be a factor with them. Then I have the lowly Jacksonville Jaguars.
You're dogging the Jags, man.
Yes.
3-13? Holy shit.
4-13.
Or 4-13. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, I was like, my math is not right. 4-13. Damn, man. Okay.
So everything that's coming out of Jacksonville is how Travis Hunter is going to play more cornerback and have spurts at wide receiver.
Yeah, I see him being like the wide receiver 4 at best. But yeah, go ahead.
Right. But for somebody that's going to be focusing on corner, he is getting a lot of fucking reps at wide receiver.
Huh. Okay.
And not a lot of reps at cornerback.
So they're smoke screening or something is what you're saying.
They're smoke screening, they're full of shit. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. I don't know.
Okay.
But it gives me a lot less confident that they could replicate any semblance of what they did last year.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, we were pretty close at the top, and then we separated. So I had Houston at 11-6, and that moved them up 1 from where I had them actually, I'm sorry, that dropped them 2. I was looking at your super early. That dropped me 2 from where I had them in the super early. Then I have Indy at 10 and 7, moved them up 2. Then Jacksonville 8 and 9, moved them up 1. And then Tennessee 2 and 15, they didn't move. And so just like quick commentary, I like Houston. I just think that as the Madden ratings came out and things solidified, the schedules looks harder to me than it originally did. And so I think that that's why the 2 games got shaved. With Indy, I think it's all really going to depend on Daniel Jones' health and which Daniel Jones we're getting, right? And so they got 10 on the predictions here, but I can see it being lower than that if this Achilles thing hinders him at all. And now, granted, he is a lot younger than Aaron Rodgers when he did the Achilles a couple years ago, and Kirk Cousins, but both of those guys struggled big time, at least in the first half of the season. And so if that's the case, it could totally tank Indy's season. After that, with Jacksonville at 8 and 9, the thing is they had a really strong year last year. And even with them at 8 and 9, I kind of felt like this was a bit of a letdown with where they had been, right? Now, if Trevor Lawrence continues to develop, they sort of do a Green Bay Packers thing with the wide receivers where they've got 3 or 4 contributors and not really a true number one. It works out. Plus, they got, Bayshul Tootin, the rookie from last year going into year 2, stepping up for ETN leaving. There's a ton of hype about him. I mean, a lot of good things can happen in Jacksonville, but, I'm still not sold on the roster. And so we'll see what happens there. With Tennessee, 2 and 15 in my model, I do think that Madden is probably still solidly discounting Cam Ward. If he takes a big jump from year 1 to year 2, which typically like those number 1 whatever quarterbacks do, I mean, I don't know. He didn't give me a ton of faith last year, but if he does, they've surrounded him with more playmakers. Salah works on the defense. I'd be more comfortable putting him close to your 6 and 11, but the model is the model. It doesn't like him at all right now, and it just is what it is, my man.
Yeah, I hear you there. I'm not confident with Tennessee at 6 and 11. I think I really like Salah, and I think he can do wonders for that defense. And I think maybe my hype for Salah is pushing them higher than I should, but we shall see.
And on that note, not to go on a tangent, but it does make me wonder, what is it about Salah that is it just, maybe it's just random chance that, because, he does remind me a little bit of like Jim Schwartz-esque, right? Where he was like a phenomenal defensive coordinator, had a really lackluster short kind of run as a head coach, went back as a defensive coordinator, and Schwartz has been one of the best defensive coordinators all these years later and still never got another look at head coach. But then Salah really quickly turned around. It's almost just like, man, I don't know. I guess I'm just wondering what's going on with Schwartz after all these years that he hasn't gotten another look. But I'm glad for Salah. I just, we talked about it earlier in the offseason that I do worry that this is going to be an 0 for 2 because of the landing place. And I think it could be because the quarterback's a dud. But if Cam Ward does progress and do all the things that he could do, well, then great. And I'll be happy for Salah. I just, I would hate to see him have 2 bust quarterbacks because, most guys don't get 3 chances at head coach. So,
yeah. So the thing with Salah versus Schwartz, I think what part of it is after Schwartz left the Lions started to improve. After Salah left the Jets still sucked.
Yeah, but I
Just
think that those are different. It's apples and oranges because you look at what Schwartz has done with every defense he's touched since.
no, and I know. I'm just saying. I think there's a
Yeah.
that I think that might be the difference because the
Okay.
Lions improving might be discounting. They might be discounting Schwartz. But also, part of it is Schwartz is starting to be is probably being judicious about where he gets his second chance at as a head coach.
Yeah, I mean, all these years later, you got to think he's thinking,
Being
hey,
too.
either I'm going to get it or I'm not. But yeah.
Mhm.
All right, enough of the side topic. I just, I don't know. But let's go to the NFC South, man. Where you at there?
All right. So the NFC South, every one of the records from my super early have changed. To recap,
Okay.
I had Tampa Bay at 10-7, Carolina 9-8, Atlanta at 5-12, and New Orleans at 2-15.
Yes.
Now, I still have Tampa Bay winning the division, but I have them at 11-6.
Okay.
I think one of the while I kind of see it as a bullshit thing to do and let Baker Mayfield come into the season
Oh, yeah, yeah,
without a
yeah.
contract, like he's done good for you, give him the fucking contract. I think Baker Mayfield's going to come to this year as basically a man on fire.
Chip on the shoulder.
Chip on the
Yeah.
shoulder, and I think that's what he needs. Because if you look at his first year when he got the first
Yeah.
chance in Tampa Bay, he lit it the fuck up, and then he kind of stayed.
And
Like
yeah,
he's going
but
to have that.
he did lose Liam Cohen though, right? And so,
True.
but I did hear something similar that there were reports out of Tampa Bay's front office that they want him to have the chip on the shoulder. They think that that's how they're going to get the most out of him.
Yeah. Then I have Carolina at 10-7. I know Carolina 10-7. What have they shown? Everything I've
They did
heard,
improve last year, man. I don't know.
everything I've heard about what's his face? Is it Canales, the coach?
Yeah.
Everything I've heard him talk about is how, like, at some point, like, what's his face? Oh God, what's the quarterback's
Bryce
name?
Young.
Bryce Young. Bryce Young started working harder, started taking that leadership role, started taking the accountability, started doing this, started doing that, and that's where he started to see improvement in him. So I see Bryce Young's
Yeah, and their
trajectory
run
going
game
up.
was fucking rocking,
Right,
which helped. But yes, yes.
right.
And they had Tatoria McMillan come out of nowhere and light it up. And yeah,
This
there
is
were a
all
lot of
true.
things. But I hear you. It did look like holy shit, Carolina's actually getting better finally.
Yeah, and so, well,
And you think that continues, which is
I think that
cool.
that
All right.
continues. The reports I'm hearing out of camp there is Bryce Young's taking even more of that leadership role. The head coach Canales is giving away the play calling duties on
Okay.
the offensive play calling duties. It's the same guy to that was there and was kind of like would in the past he would kind of check Canales, like if they were trying to do something, he's like, well, I'm seeing this, let's do this instead, and
So
Canales
it
would,
should
okay,
be
let's do
pretty
that, and
seamless.
it should be seamless, but also it gives Canales more time to touch on the
Yeah.
defense, talk to the
The
defense, talk to
overarching
special teams, the
role. Yeah.
overarching, the CEO role versus the
Yeah.
making decisions for challenging, because with Canales, he's there, he like it's on offense, you have to challenge a play and you have to call the play at the same time, you have to determine, and it's
Yeah.
like you have conflicting. So I
Yeah.
think he's doing the right things, making the right decisions, and I really respect him stepping back
Yeah,
from
and
the play
he's
calling
going into
duty.
what, year 3 as the coach there.
Mhm.
So I think that's, hey, elevate yourself, man. See if it helps you.
Then I have the Saints. I had them at 2-15. I've bumped them up to 4-13. I
Okay.
have them taking third in the division. I might even bump them up more. The more I'm reading, more I'm hearing about the Saints, the more I'm starting to get excited for them, where they're finally
I am
turning it
too,
back around.
dude. I am too. Yeah, but keep going.
I think they may have found a legitimate quarterback in Shug.
Yeah.
They have the pieces there. They have fucking salary cap hell for like 72 years, but whatever, it's fake cap. And I think the more Kellen Moore gets comfortable there,
Yeah.
the better, the more this team is going to grow. And I see the trajectory for the Saints going up, maybe not as good as the Eagles got to, but going up to that level to be able to fight for the division.
Yeah, I just,
Maybe not.
my whole thing is that I think that they're going to have to be in some ways like Detroit Lions-esque, where they're going to be reliant on winning with offense in a major way because they lost to Mario Davis on defense. You got Cam fucking Jordan still getting older. They haven't done a ton to like rejuvenate the defense, but I do like that the Kellen Moore handpicking Tyler Shug thing actually, like statistically, when you look at how it progressed last year, it looked like what you always want a coach picking his quarterback to look like. I mean, like to me, honestly, like it was like as good as it could be for a first year, and it doesn't mean that it's going to keep going because Shug was a second rounder or whatever because people didn't see that like crazy high ceiling. But if him and Kellen Moore have the magic, it's not going to matter, man. And so
Right.
I'm with you, dude. The Saints are like a team that like I'm sneakily rooting for this year.
Yeah, and on Kellen Moore was a second round pick. Jalen Hurts was a second round pick
Yeah.
because
And then
people had questions about him.
later round picks work. Fucking, Dak Prescott, love him, hate him, whatever. Russell Wilson, love him, hate him. Kirk Cousins, plenty of later round guys can make it if they got the right guy and the right juice and the right shit going on, man.
There are 25 players in the Pro Football Hall of Fame that were undrafted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kurt Warner, Adam Vinatieri are the two big
Yeah, I
ones.
love Vinatieri getting in. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, he's like as clutch as they get a kicker, right? But
well, like I forget who it was, but I saw part of like video from like ex teammates or whatever to Vinatieri, and one of them said, you're clutch when you miss a field goal, and this holder said this, when you miss a field goal and the coaches come up to me and ask what I did wrong for you to miss that field goal.
Yeah. How did you fuck this up?
Yeah. How did you fuck this up?
Yeah, it was either him or the fucking snapper, right? Could never be Vinatieri, but yeah.
Exactly. And then
all right, where do you got Atlanta, man?
I have Atlanta at 1-16.
Damn, you see it being a shit show this year.
One, they're already dealing with quarterback injuries. Tua was out for a stretch of preseason with back injury. Penix is struggling to come back. On top of that, they lost Jalen Walker for the fucking season.
That's true. That hurts. Yeah.
They have Avian Terrell's a undisclosed injury. Deshaun Hand's dealing with an undisclosed injury.
Yeah, and I like Deshaun Hand, but yeah.
Everything I'm reading about them is giving me concern.
Okay.
And I'm not on – I don't think Penix is an NFL quarterback. I don't think Tua is an NFL quarterback. So, therefore, that tells me they don't have an NFL quarterback on their roster. And if you don't have a quarterback in this league, you can have the best fucking running back on God's green earth. You can have fucking Barry Sanders at running back and not win a fucking game. Look at the Lions in the Barry Sanders years.
Yeah, I mean, all right, I'll give you mine, and then I'll get to my commentary, right? And so at the top, I got Tampa Bay at 9-8, and I had them at 10-7 in the super early, so they come down one, not crazy. Then I got Atlanta at 7-10. They went up by one since the super early. And then the bottom two, Carolina and New Orleans, both at 6-11, both went up by two from the super early. And so I'm glad that Carolina went up because, like you, I am seeing things that I do believe are positive. And I'm seeing things on their defense that not many people are talking about. That I think their defense is actually a huge part of their success, where the offense is getting so much of the credit. But either way, I do think Carolina outperforms what the Madden ratings and record comes up to. With Tampa Bay, with them at 9-8, I'm not going to balk at it because they're in this model. They're still winning the division, right? And I'm just not sure what you're going to get out of them. You know, Mike Evans is gone. The defense has some changes going on. I I want to believe Tampa Bay has some kind of staying power. But I think this is a pivotal year. And so I think what they're doing with Baker, even though I think it's a dick move, I agree with you, like you were saying. I do also think that it's probably a smart move because I think Tampa Bay's been in a fragile state since Tom Brady left. And they got like kind of like some juice that was like lucky and worked in their favor. And I think this is the year where we're going to find out, like, do they really have a good foundation? Do they really have the right coach? Do they really have the right quarterback? I think Baker Mayfield, hey, whether, I think at this stage of his career, it's not about putting the pressure on him. I think he's there now. I think he's matured enough. He's developed enough. His skill set's rounded out enough. You should just give him the benefit of the doubt and let him be the leader. But we'll see. So that was long-winded on Tampa Bay. Atlanta, okay, I hear what you're saying on the quarterback thing. Penix, I've not seen enough of him to come around to him. I know he did in his rookie year have like some splash plays here and there. Tua, we know, can be like electric or a dud. It just depends. What I do like is the reviews I'm hearing about Tua with Stefanski in the play action, and that Tua gets the ball out fast, and it bodes well for what Stefanski's trying to do. But the big thing is, it's like, well, hey, like you're saying, can he even stay healthy? Because it may not even matter. And then Bijan becomes a wasted talent this year, which could totally tank everything. But with me at 7-10, it's not like that's like some shining year anyhow. Carolina, New Orleans, 6-11. I think both these teams can outperform what the Madden ratings have them at. We covered Carolina pretty well. Actually, we covered both these guys pretty well. I think that if it was going to flip, I would really like to see New Orleans be the team that flips it. I'm a Kellen Moore fan. I mean, he did play for the Lions very briefly, but I do like he was, like a earlier.
So did Dan
round.
Orlovsky, and he ran out of the back of the fucking end zone like a dipshit. So
yeah, but he didn't go on to coach and be like one of the best offensive coordinators in the league for a couple of years, right? So
true.
He just fucking straight embarrassed us, and then went and had a fucking like crazy $1 million commentary career. So. So I don't know. That's all I got to say, man. That's all I got to say. So we're pretty far apart on this division. I mean, we agree on the winner, but that's about it.
We are, and I think with the surprise that we're so far apart is Tampa Bay. Carolina, New Orleans, Atlanta, I figured we were going to be way apart on. I thought we were going to be closer on Tampa Bay because I tend to discount Baker Mayfield more than you do.
Yeah, but I mean, we still have Tampa Bay. Each of us has them winning. So, I mean, even though the record's a little off, I mean, it's just, you got Atlanta at 1 win. I got them at 7. You got Carolina at 10. I got them at 6. But and I say that it's not necessarily me because I don't override this. I do it based purely off the Madden ratings, but I try to like provide a narrative to maybe support it one way or another or not.
Mm-hmm.
I do think Carolina can hit 10.
And I think, like, and the same, I think Carolina could hit 10. I think their range is 5 to 10 wins. I think,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm at the
I
high end
guess
on them.
I guess I would say this. My biggest fear with Carolina, and this is gonna sound really crazy saying this, but I think my biggest fear with Carolina is that Rico Dowdle was more of the X factor for them than they expected. Because honestly, when he
Mm-hmm.
came in and took over for Chuba Hubbard, that's where they started just fucking winning shit left and right. And then they started splitting carries, and it was still working, but it became a little different, right? And nobody looks at Rico Dowdle as a fucking X factor, but I think last year he kind of was in a lot of ways for Carolina, man.
Right. And I think part of that is with Canales calling the plays and the position groups and everything. He wasn't
Yeah,
because he had so many other duties, he wasn't as in touch with the flow of the game and what was going on.
I got you.
And I think by giving up the play calling and the offensive alignment duties to, and I forget who the guy is, to him, who was there in the first place, like I think that's going to free. So the offense guy calling the play calls is going to be able to recognize what's going on in the flow of the
Yeah,
game more because he doesn't have the duties, all the other duties that he does.
I hear you, my man. I hear you. I'm good
But
with all that.
like I said, like 5, 6 to 10 for Carolina. I think that's their range. I think New Orleans is probably I'm probably on the low end of what I think their range is because if they keep impressing me this offseason, by the time we get to the regular season, I'm going to say that they're going to win the fucking division.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they fucking won 6 games last year, and I didn't think they were winning
Mm-hmm.
shit last year. So, and when I look at the teams in the division, I mean, you could maybe say Tampa Bay's defense could be
Mm-hmm.
formidable, but they've had a lot of roster churn. I think New Orleans offensively carves up all those other defenses. And
Yeah.
if they can do that, they can carve up a lot of other defenses. And it's like, man, I don't know, dude. Like I'm just blown away that Kellen Moore had such an impact in year one, and that I want to see. I'm excited to see what he gets to do in year two now with Shug in his handpicked like compliments to Shug.
100%. Like I think New Orleans is definitely on the up. I think to get like another year under Kellen Moore gets a little bit more confidence and gets more of his personnel in there.
Yeah.
I think this year there's a chance that they win the division. I think next year, I'm going to say this now, I would put money down, not right now, to bet them to win the division next year.
It could happen, man. I mean, there's a lot that's going to happen between now and then, but I hear you. I hear you. All right. So I'm good with all this. You feel good with all this?
I feel good with it.
All right. Party people, whoever's watching, our one viewer, you know who you are. We just talked the other day on Facebook. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, if you're somebody else, subscribe. Click the thumbs up, all that fun stuff, whatever. And James, I will talk to you in just a minute, my man.
All right, sounds good.
Gridiron Grinder. Hut hut hike.